there's a wheel spinning round and round. A colorful wheel. I'm in a rush. I'm in a panic-stricken rush. Panic-stricken.
Just gonna enjoy some Lipton iced tea.
Hang on, here we go. How did it go with the Black Beauty? Did you or did you not buy a 6.5 by 14 Ludwig Black Beauty on the market? Tell us what you got there, Cub.
Here, you want me to grab it? It's right here.
Yeah, don't hurt your back though, dude. Those things are seriously the way.
No, it's just the they are a little bit heavier for sure. I know.
Yeah, they have some Haftington. All right, watch your back.
There we go. So it's not like a brand new one, and it's not a vintage one. I don't know if you can see the badge. I mean, I don't really know much about them.
It's not. It's a newish one, newish,
Yeah.
because it has that. It's great they brought that little 60s badge back.
Yeah.
You know what I mean?
Do the newer ones have the olive and blue or whatever it is?
Well, they did a thing where they had the blue and olive.
Do the new ones have the olive blue black?
Well, I think you can order maybe now. There's a flexibility, I think, now to the badges because you can get the blue olive, or you can get that little badge, or you can also get something else that's heavier even than that little one, a little more like cast. And then I think you can get, like, even if you want, maybe they don't make reissue the big. I never liked the big gold ones from, like, what was it, 80, 84 to, you know what I mean? The big with the white writing. Although it did look pretty cool with the big gold with the blue writing of the transition Ludwig era.
Yeah.
No, but anyway, so now does that have 8 lugs or 10, right? It has 10.
It's a 10.
Okay.
Yeah, I guess it's a black nickel finish for Black Beauties.
Dude, that
I
is
think
like
this is the P, what is it, P85 or I forget.
Oh yeah,
I was looking them up.
Yeah, that's it.
So it's got this throw off. Man, I'm stuttering real bad. I ordered a P86C throw off.
More of a lever thing, I think.
Yeah, it's got like kind of almost a little fancy like Lord of the Rings
engraving.
Yeah, exactly.
Yeah.
Or you can get the P88C. That's what came on this Superphonic that I'm usually using.
Right. Okay.
People, I guess, generally prefer the P86C or even this P85. It's mixed reviews like everything, but I already have this one. I'm going to try the other one out.
Well, you know what?
I ordered that.
You know what the thing is about like that P85? Back in the day, before they switched to the P85, they had a P83, which had the exact same functionality, but it was made more out of probably more expensive to make pressed, like more metal worked parts, and very extremely durable. Not that those weren't durable, but those almost seem like the metal was almost more die cast, as you say, like the little cars in the 70s versus maybe the metal that they used. I don't know.
Yeah.
But what I'm saying is the little teeny thing that holds the snare wires that gets sucked into, like drilled up, was a higher quality back in the day. But anyway, but the thing is, I think a lot of people do see those, relatively speaking, to modern throws, and they think, it looks kind of cheap. But that is a great low mass, perfectly I would leave that on. I mean, if it was my personal drum, as far as my personal taste, but definitely people adore the lever throws. I like those throws. They used to use those. The lever throw is really neat because it kind of just goes ka-chunk.
Yeah. If you search P85 and look for reviews, they're very mixed. A lot of people, they're like, oh, trash. Other people are like, I don't know why you would say that. They're great. I've never had a problem with one in my like 25, 40 years of owning this drum. This one, I mean, it's just a little bit wonky, and maybe it's not rattling quite as much, and maybe they all do that, have like a little bit of a rattle.
Well, you know, it's very possible, bro, that the person that had that drum, and probably likely, had the P86 on it, and before he sold it was like, I really want to keep this frickin' throw. Took it off and put one of those on. That's often what happens. So, but what I mean is that's great. But did you say it's a little, like it's not functional?
No, it functions fine. To me, it felt a little rattly. Yeah, when I was cleaning it and stuff. One thing is actually like this lever but I don't know if it's bent, but when you have it engaged, it's actually touching the knob that you turn.
Yeah.
Which isn't a big deal, but I just figured I'd order that other one because, why not just
that one? It's easy. That's yourself. What I mean. Well, right, of course, but also too the I think the model they used in later P85s was more of a die cast, easier bendy. Because when that happened, there are some times where it hits the knob before it hits the click. So you got to grab
Yeah.
a pliers. Make sure you grab it in a certain way where you just don't pull a little teeny bit. You got to grab a large chunk and kind of make it go, and then it's a. But yeah, man. But you know what I do with those though, is starting in the 80s. Was it the 80s or the 90s? They switched the P85s to the style where you could use snare cord as well as the plastic. So there's the two things, like on the butt plate concept. Remember the original butt plate concept? I don't know what you have there. Let's see the butt plate you have on there. All right, yeah, okay, that's the one they've been using now for maybe 20 years. That's sort of the standard butt plate. Has two drum keys on it.
Yes.
Yeah, okay, but when you go back to the other side,
It actually has screws instead of.
yes.
To
So
tighten.
what I have done in the past is I just take those two screws, take them each off. They might have a washer too, and then the little metal thing that comes, put that aside in a little Ziploc baggie.
Mhm.
And then what you do is you carefully sand or dull the inside of that hole with maybe a file. Go all the way around to really dull it, and then you can use regular snare cord and tie a knot. Because I think sometimes what happens for a lot of those, I think sometimes maybe those, I don't know. I can't help but think, I always think that the snare cord is more reliable. Did I ever send you any of that?
Snare cord?
Yeah.
I don't think so. No.
Oh,
First
bro,
time we talked about it.
I am.
You have some specialized like.
I
cording
am the
something?
Western Hemisphere's, the Northern Hemisphere's global supplier of authentic Ludwig snare cord. You know why?
Oh, cool.
And I'll tell you why. Check this out. So back in the day, I was looking, I'm like, I wanted to figure out what the deal was with snare cord. I always looked at it and I was like, yeah, but it's durable. You get something that kind of looks like it breaks and it's shiny. So I found out what that stuff is it's nylon, it's double braided nylon with core, like double diamond braided or something like that. They make it in a couple different calibers or gauges, right? There's a particular one that's brownish, and that's the shite Ludwig used to use all through, at least through, even to the 80s. At some point they switched the supply or whatever. But I don't mean to burn into the lesson and everything, but on North Lincoln Avenue,
Yeah.
there's an irony. On North Lincoln Avenue, there was and still is an upholster called Ludwig Upholstering. And if you look at the sign they have there, which conceivably could be from the early mid-60s, it says Ludwig, and the L and the U are attached. Like it looks almost like the 70s. I'm serious. And the irony is the original Ludwig factory was on Lincoln Street, which turned into, I think, Wood Street or something. Anyway, so the Lincoln and Lincoln. But you never know. What if, like, the great uncle of somebody has the upholster business? Your cousin's
Yeah,
like, hey, man, listen, can we borrow the G and thing like this? And by the way, we need a supply of that for snare cord.
Yeah, there's probably some kind of historical overlap to that.
Anyway, so I have two spools. So I'm going to send you some. It's
Hey,
great. Yeah.
that'd be cool.
Well,
That'd be cool.
Well, you know what? Well, it's just old reliable. You know what I mean? You go
Yeah.
through, you tie the one lace shoe knot, and then you flip it over and you tie the other knot. And there it is, as good as, you know what I mean? You flip it just the... But it's reliable. You get a little bit of a flex. Then you can sort of... To me, it's just... You don't really... With string, with a movable thing where you sand that down, you're not going to... String essentially kind of... If it has the ability, if you loosen it, it'll find a perfect point. If you tie it nice, almost like a circle, perfect, it'll be even tensiled on each side. Sometimes the thing that kills me about the frickin' nylon or whatever you slit through the thing and you grip it is sometimes you get a little bit of like a roll. You know, like you get it, one side's just a little or the other, you know what I mean? So that's why with me with the string or the cord, you always get it, it'll self-even out because of the nature of the string.
Yeah, buddy. Yeah, if you can send me some of that, I'll give it a try. I
Pally.
started with string with one of the other snare drum, then I went to the straps, and maybe we can try the string again and see if it becomes more.
Yeah, let's see if I didn't have any. Ironically, I don't even have any on this drum I'm playing. But yeah, I will send you. But you know, I sent you the sticks. I sent you the 2Bs.
Oh yeah, I got those. Yeah,
You
thank you
did?
very much. Yeah, they're in.
God, man, there must be a direct like express road route that goes right down 65 to like 75 over there, or whatever. Where you at? You said you're over in the Kentucky by 70.
Yeah, like Florence, Kentucky,
I got
probably a
you.
bigger city.
Yeah, dude. So what do you think of those? Those are like
They look nifty. I don't know if I'm supposed to play them or not because I feel like I'm just gonna tear them up.
you will. But this is what you could do though. All right, if you want to preserve them, only use those for your rubber pad. if you tap on a pad or a pillow.
That's what I need to start doing is just
Yeah.
hitting the practice pad to start getting my just
Yeah.
have some kind of skill on the snare drum in general and whatnot. Get some faster hands going.
Well, yeah, just get the big four going. You know what I mean? Do your singles, work on even if you just worked on singles and doubles. If you had like two freaking rudiments, I think to practice, I do singles and doubles.
I definitely need to do doubles because I don't think I've spent more than 2 minutes on doubles in my whole life. So yeah,
Well,
I definitely need to do that.
Give it a whirl. People can pick it up fast. My friend Ryan, back in the day, this dude, he's a dear friend of mine. I remember he's like, yeah, I'm gonna start taking lessons. I think he started taking lessons with the drum teacher that I was. Oh my God, this character, Phil Stanger, back in the day. Anyway, so pretty quickly, suddenly Ryan had doubles. They're like I still have such an unevenness. You know what I mean? If that, more like. But I'm working on them. But yeah, anyway, you use them for that if you want, because they're kind of meant for that. Like, you see the way they are and see how it almost, we got almost the top like the candlestick. But then the cool thing about those sticks is you have like a, it's not as angular. Like, there's more curvature. There's more of a circular nature to them where they kind of go like a girdle. Like except at the top here, you have we can get the doubles faster.
Yeah. They're in on the kitchen table. I can go grab them at some point if you want.
Oh yeah, no, but look at you're already wearing the Bonzoleum poster. You're the king.
True.
There'll be an
Have you
extra
heard of
50 in the envelope for you this week.
Have you heard of they're not moon gels? I think the guy who sold me this drum, he had these little orange or like amber, kind of like moon gels, but they were more sticky. And I think they were like honey drops is what he called them.
Oh, I think I've heard of those.
Yeah, so one was intact and the other one was like smeared across the whole drum head and it kind of got on the shell and stuff. So last night I took everything
melted a
apart.
little? Yeah.
I don't know what was going on. I took all the lugs off of here, everything, and cleaned it up with like just basically water, paper towel, a little tiny drop Dawn soap from, I don't know if it's Nick Costa's like tutorial on cleaning a Black Beauty. Trying to be easy with the finish, but long story short, I got everything cleaned up and I took the heads completely off. This is still the one that came with it, Ludwig Weathermaster.
Okay.
Rezo head.
Yeah.
Got this tuned up. It's
Okay.
I don't know if you go by hertz or not. You can get close to 400. I think it was like 370 or something, but just try to get it even.
Oh yeah,
like sound decent.
Yeah.
I just use the hertz thing on my phone to kind of give me like if I want to make sure they're even to my ear, that sounds good, then kind of double check it with that. And
dude, that's a great idea. I didn't even know you can use the hertz thing with your phone.
yeah, I mean, there's different little apps. Like I think I got an iDrum Pro or something like that.
Oh, I know what you mean.
Yeah, whatever
so
app.
Oh yeah, I think I remember that feature. Yeah.
Then put a Emperor Vintage coated on here and tune this up. So this one's brand new. It's a little bit low pitched yet. It might be like 240 versus like these are like 270, something like that. But we got to get engaged. See if you can actually. It doesn't sound right on.
No, well, here's
like
the
on
gig.
the mics.
No, but here's the thing. I'm going to tell you about the nature about brass. Or it's like, remember, brass is copper and zinc. That's what brass is. They use those two metals. Bronze is copper and tin. But copper, you get, like with the aluminum, and I'm sure it was steel and other stuff, you get higher frequencies. The thing about, you can still get higher frequencies with bronze or brass with a copper. But the drum sort of sweet spot sits lower. The thing to me about a copper shell drum is it's more like a wood shell drum. It's like if you have a really good sounding wood shell drum and just ran it into a little bit of like an amplifier somehow, like just made the shell more like, oh, that's what a brass or especially brass or I think bronze actually sounds more musical than brass. If here's the thing about brass. Check this out. Get yourself, especially one of the old Ludwigs, rolled and welded, super Ludwigs, from like whatever 58 to 62 or whatever. And if you take all that shite off and you tap it, some more than others might get a little bit of a bell, like oh, but by and large you're going to get like a dunk or like a weird clunk. But if you pick up an aluminum shell, even if it's rolled and welded, it's going to go boom. There's a tone to it. So that's the reason, like if Supraphonics were made out of steel. Actually, Bonham, you can tune steel to sound pretty freaking much like it. But there's a way to get a certain throaty sound. It still eludes me. I think I have it sometimes, and then suddenly I'll get all thrown off. And then what I have to do is I got to always go down back to totally baggy and bring it up to kind of find the bottom sound. Because I fall into the trap all the time. I think like a lot of drummers do. I just assume there's a little bit here from me doing all the rim shots, so I should probably tighten that. Oh, while I'm doing that, maybe I'll tighten here too. Next thing you know, I totally have tightened so much of this, and it sounds shitty or whatever. But anyway, but back to your drum, the brass nature. Maybe what you could do if you want. How new is the head? Really new?
Oh, the head's brand new. Yeah.
Yeah. So don't be afraid. I mean, don't go berserker tightening it, but go around. You can go around remember, there's some methods that might go bong 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 bong. You know what I mean? And then other ones that just go bump bump bump, just right around.
Yeah.
Dunk 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 dunk. You know what I mean? Or every other, like with the 10-lug drum, you can do 5.
Yeah, I always
go every other.
Easiest thing for me is split it in half when I'm counting. So double key each side. You go 1, 2, 3, 4, 5.
Yeah, right. No, that's cool. Yeah.
So you don't lose count and over tighten anything.
No, that's I think, and double handed.
That's the worst if you're starting from scratch and you're, if you're starting from scratch and you forget your count and then you're suddenly over tightening.
But that'll also give you a good feel for how, like, you can, like, back in the day before like tune bots and everything. There's a lot of people who just get freaked out because they think before you even just put that out, like, what do I do? Do I tune it to a note, or it's a top? You know what you can do is just ass around with it. But you know what I mean? Like, you get the top one. A lot of people, what they do, like who started drums, had single-headed drums. I had a double-headed kit that just had single-headed toms, so it was very Phil Collins. It was cool. It was
open bottom.
Yeah, well, there was no bottom, so tuning was a cakewalk. Yeah, I mean, it was more timbali, like badang, badang, but it was great, even my floor tom. But then I realized it became apparent that by and large, you just want the head on the other end to be at least the same tightness or higher. That's just a simple rule. That, you know what I mean? Generally speaking, unless you're going to go for that, like, there's a lot of engineers that want it to be almost as if there's towels, but not quite. So, put on a pinstripe coated extra top and bottom, so you get like, but there it is. You know what I mean? But by and large, a lot of people, if you can play live in a room, you want it to have a little bit of boom.
Yeah, I kind of dig that sound. That
Yeah, well, yeah, because once everything, see, that's one thing too. Like, in a certain way, I think I've read like engineers and stuff that do this. Like, they'll start they'll start basically with the drums real fast to make sure there's no overtones or something. But they won't go berserker. What they'll do is they'll get everybody playing for a while. So, all right, start playing. Almost like they would at a quick sound check. Instead of working on be like, all right, F it, start playing. Okay, all right, well, that's good to go. Well, I think they do that in the studio. That's what I would do in the studio. Because in the end, by and large, especially if you're a band that maybe you're not that sophisticated in the sense that you're, well, how are we going to do this? We're going to do this more with if you know what I mean, like commercial jingly, like if you're just your band, do you know what I mean? You can go in and just, what the hell was I just talking about? Give me a minute here. This is important because another thought just crossed my mind because we're talking about the drum there. But what I mean is to get quick levels. I'm sorry. You just real fast because everything is going to be in a context is what I mean.
Okay. Yeah.
Unless there's going to be a part of the song that suddenly out of nowhere might be like, where suddenly you want, a good example of that I just played is actually if you listen to like you can hear effects moving around on recordings, like even in Zeppelin, like la da 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 ba da 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 ba da 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 ba da 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 ba da da da. You can hear in that solo. There's a point that what they do because they're probably all standing at the board. A couple people, all right, you're gonna bring this up, where for by and large a lot of the song, the drums are actually relatively muted in a sense. And then suddenly the solo comes in, and they have that more Stargrove-y room depth of the crunge in Jamaica, like like you get like that, like like that boom. You can hear it, and the drums like, and then it goes, and on that climb up, you can hear the drums go from. It's like, like you hear them pull that room off. So what I mean, like police, you know what I mean? But what I mean is just for sound. I don't know, for just a general sound. I just, it's easier, but also too. I mean, you can always have the option, a way to cheap. What a lot of people do, especially I remember when I was younger, was to get like tape. It'd be like F it, you know what I mean? Because a lot of people were like they want. When you first get a set of drums, there's a lot of people that suddenly think the drum set and the cymbals are playing it should sound exactly like why are these so loud and brash? Or this doesn't sound like, you know what I mean? Just the nature of the beast kind. And eventually you're like, oh, I guess there's a way that it's. Anyway, but back to your drum. This is, sure. Do you want to real fast just hold it like this, take the thing off? You want to get the pitches at the top and bottom just for the microphone and see what we got?
Sure.
You know what I mean? Now watch I'm telling you, dude, watch your back. Always, when you turn and pick up something, I'm telling you, take it from an old pro. That's sometimes when something goes click. Seriously.
Yeah, you definitely need to be aware of that. So we'll take the throw off.
Hey, wait, am I loud enough?
Yeah, you were a little dim this week, but I just turned it up a smidge, and you're fine. Okay. I wouldn't even worry about it. You're fine.
Okay, I'm good.
I made a slight adjustment on my volume, and everything's clear.
Do I sound a little louder now? No, we're good. We're good then. No,
I don't know if you're louder or not.
No, good, because I touched the knob and I literally just went wafer thin.
Yeah.
Angle jack.
Wafer thin.
You know? Oh, you remember that? Oh my God.
This is a commercial, right? Like some kind of French commercial.
I think we're talking about the frickin'. Well, maybe they reused it, but it was in a Monty Python movie.
Oh, okay.
Dude, you might have seen a snippet. There's a thing with this guy and he's eating. He's supposed to be like gluttony, and he's eating at this restaurant. And at the end, they're like, how would you like a mint? And he's like, F off, I'm full. He's like this brash cockney or whatever. Yeah. And they're like, give him a mint, and they slip it in his, because he's like, bizarre. He's like Jabba the Hutt, and then he explodes.
That's just the straw that breaks the back.
Yeah, that explodes the C4 in his viscera. All right, but listen. So let's check that out. Let's see what happens. So you want to take the snare wires off.
Okay. Yeah, I took the throw off and disengaged that. Now
okay.
What should I do now?
I'm sorry. Go like here. So take it.
What do I do?
Just tap it and go. Here, mine's up. Wow, we have about the exact same pitch, dude.
Here, let me try the other one too.
Yeah, the other one I'll bet's da or something like that. Let's see. Da. Probably.
And it's got the snare weight little thing on it too.
Oh no, that's Doug.
So it's gonna sound a little more dead.
Doug.
These are pretty cool. I'm sure everybody knows about.
Oh
them,
yeah. Wait, what are they? Tell everybody.
So it's a snare weight M80. Snare weight's the brand.
Snare weight's
M80.
the brand.
They got different sizes.
M80.
This one's like $30.
$30.
You can pick if you got a metal drum especially, and if you don't like that overtone of tone, and you just kind of want to.
Oh yeah, no, but just whatever. You know what it is. Whatever you got to do to suddenly make the drum sound more like you want it to.
That's all it is.
But I got one of these too. I bought one of these. This one's a little bigger. I think I meant to get the smaller one, but these are something. They're heavy. You know what they are? They're a blackjack. You could turn this into a weapon. Like just get like a pliers hammer, and suddenly just walk somebody like.
You just put it on the end of like a shoelace and swing that around.
There's a story. Somebody. There's a local person whose name I won't mention. Back in the day, and I know this happened because I confirmed it. I think I confirmed it. They were out in the woods, and it's like the woods where we live in this town out by the Brookfield Zoo. And there was like a dead animal or otter or beaver or something. So, boop, boop, went over with the stick. It was like, next thing you know, he had the intestine like wound up on the stick, and he started going. It started unwinding, getting longer. I swear to God, I wasn't there, but it makes for a great story. But this said, and the person to whom he did it to, I sat right across from at lunch sometimes, and I didn't ask him about it. But anyway, apparently what happened was he walked by or whatever, and the thing did go around his neck, and it went a little bit like like,
oh my gosh.
Well, boop, it was one of those guys who like would hold his hands out. Well, he wouldn't literally do this. Actually, that's a caricature of another person that we grew up with, and just start spinning around and be like, just as like Anyway, but listen, here's the gig. Drum. Let's hit that mother and see what the gig is. What do we
All
got
right.
going?
So here's this one. It's a little bit higher pitched. Then you got the throw off engaged on here.
Oh yeah. Oh, I got you. Okay, hang on.
So that's that one that I normally
okay.
use.
All right.
You can hear a little bit of that wong.
Yours has a little more. It would only take probably a sixth of a full turn to make that thing be the exact same pitch as your Supra.
That's where we're at. Yeah.
Well, yeah, but not saying you should. You know what it is? Just make sure. I got to think about it because I normally don't play brass drums, but I know there's a relationship. Like you still can crank the bottom head, like you can with the Supra or aluminum. But also too, I think there's other ways. Maybe you don't turn the bottom head quite so much up. Like I said, to maybe keep it more like an amplified sort of wood shell.
Yeah. I kind of want to leave it low because I can easily. I don't know. I'm more comfortable pitching it up than I am down. For whatever reason. Down's like
me too.
We're going back. I don't like this. Like it's going to be uneven.
Well, it always feels a little weird when you decide to down tune it a little. That one, like you realize that they're not all the exact same tension. And you're like, oh, wait a minute. All right, wait. All right, should I compensate? Wait, should I not turn this one? And you get into the Woody Allen type. And next thing you know, the drum just sounds like Bickus.
Yeah. With all that in mind, like for people out there trying to get better at tuning, I think the best thing is to not be afraid of turning these knobs all around it. Yeah. That's the best way to get more familiar with it.
Yeah, right. And you're not going to, unless somebody like cranks the shit out of all of them, you're not going to break the head. I mean, no. But again, that's why I think, and it's been around a long, long time. I made a video about it years ago because I saw somebody else make a video about it. I mean, I used to kind of do it anyway, especially at the final tuning, just see if there's any wrinkles. But the general wrinkle thing, like especially with the thicker heads they have these days that come on kits, like you can do it with, of course, the single ply too, but the thicker the ply, the more effective it is. Just hold it down and just watch the wrinkles disappear. Then when they're kind of all gone, just go from there and go a little, I find that to be the best scenario.
Yeah, I think the online crowd calls that jaw, Jaw, just above wrinkle. Get the wrinkles out and maybe just a little bit more and then just start there.
Well, yeah, to start there, but you wouldn't normally like play there. There might be a time.
Especially not a snare drum, but like tom-toms and stuff, that's not too bad.
Not too bad. It's right off the bat, because, they'll just be like, do. You probably won't have any bad overtone.
Yeah,
but great play.
Especially with a snare, a bass drum, that's definitely a good rule.
Oh, God, yeah. Yeah, totally. Wait, how are the PDPs coming? Where do you got those? The Pacific?
They're up there. I still have to get them dialed in. I'm more kind of like getting all the kit straightened around as far as spacing, and I switched out. I got two versions now. What are the thrones?
Rock and
sock thrones. Yeah, I got the spindle type and the hydraulic type, both off of Facebook. Yeah. So that collection is complete. You got your sound cake cymbals. I'll probably get those are fine for now.
Yeah,
just Sonic Cake or something like that.
Sonic Cake. Yeah, I think there was Sonic Cake. It's like there's like 58 different brands now. People are just buying these things, the discs. Probably on frickin' what's that thing that site buying 100 and put a name on like Johnny's practice cymbals.
China.com.
Yeah, right. $69 full set. For a full set. Yeah,
throw some holes in them.
Yeah, well, they sound good.
They do well. They do sound good.
It's they're just simply, I think, like sheet metal. It's some maybe kind of stainless sorta, but they just happen to sound like caricatures of like Pisces that are real low volume.
Yeah,
but lower. But they're great practice cymbals if you just need something.
Yeah, and I think they kind of work because I'm trying to stay a little bit quieter up there, anyways.
Right.
But so those work out good. The PDP kit is set up decent enough. I just got to tune up the tom-toms a little bit, the 13 and 16. And now I got this thing. The snare drum up there was that Mapex Black Panther Wraith. It had a ambassador head on top. I'd have to go grab that thing at some point and play it because it sounds clear, but it's got so much overtone. Like it sounds like an empty hallway.
Wait, which drum is that? A pork pie? What did you?
No, Mapex.
Oh,
Black Panther.
Steel.
Yeah, it's another metal of some. Probably steel.
Yeah. I guess it could be brass too. Yeah, is it real heavy?
It's got some weight. Yeah, I think so.
Okay. Yeah. Well, you know what it is? Sometimes there's just snare drums that just sound really good. Like I played with some guys the other night. We played a gig with them a couple times before. And the guy has this kind of kit he put together. There's a little bit of tama with it and some pearl generally, like, but you know what I mean, like
Nice.
forum or something in more modern times. And the snare drum, it just sounds fantastic the way it's just got this thing in. It sounds like every snare drum you hear, you know, like the snare you almost hear in like, get ready, cause here I come. You know what I mean? The snare drum when you hear
Yeah.
Marvin Gaye at the Kennedy Center, that Leedy in the background, it has like that crickety crackety. Leedy and Ludwig Dudsigel's playing there.
Nice.
You know what I mean?
Yeah.
No, but listen, all right, so let's do this. We got to keep it going though, because mime is money. We're on the clock.
It's true.
All right, so so you got the, now do you want to put the, let's just stay at, well, whatever you want to do. Do you want to swap it out? I mean, I don't want to rain on the,
Let's stick with this one for now.
you got it.
Just because it's in my ears and it's not going to mess with my focus.
Right, I got you. Let me, hang on, I do got to check this out though. You can hear a little lower there because of the rim shottery.
Yeah, even those guys up.
No, you just need a little chippity chip there. Let's hear it sound. How does this sound?
I like the overtone.
Okay.
Play it again real quick.
Here's rim
Your snare
shots.
wires are just like they're on the looser end, which I kind of like usually.
Yeah, you know what it is? Well, both heads are kind of played out. They're a little stretchy.
That could be what I'm hearing.
No, but I'm not. Well, it could be that contributing.
Okay.
But yeah, so
Does not sound bad. It's like one of those, if somebody gives you a bite of food, like, taste this. Does this taste good? And I'm like,
yeah,
it does.
It does the job.
taste good. Can I add anything to this? Perhaps
Yes.
Worcestershire. I don't know what to tell you.
Ah, dude, that's what I used to put. That was my go-to sauce when I was a kid. It was French's Worcestershire.
Yeah.
And it had a little slit. When you pour it, you turn it where it was this way, and it would dabble out. But if you turn the slit this way, it'd be like, yeah. I loved it.
Okay.
No, but also too, Heinz 57, A1.
Heinz 57. I mean, that's a different formula than regular ketchup.
Yes, what it's a source. I mean, it's like it's the Heinz 57 ketchup with like 2 or 3 spices in it or something. But they made a terrible mistake, as far as I'm concerned, back in the 90s at some point. There came a time where suddenly the Heinz 57 bottle said new and improved. It was like improved, better taste.
Yeah.
And I grabbed it, and all it was it was significantly sweeter. Man,
Oh, that's not good.
man, if somebody could make the original recipe Heinz 57. Seriously, if they did a taste test, you'd have a lot of people that'd be like, "Whoa," because it wasn't as cloyingly sweet. You know what I mean?
So that the new formula is what they still make to this day.
Yeah, it's still that formula.
Oh wow.
Yeah,
What the
far,
heck?
yeah, because I have a bottle at the house. What I used to do as a kid, I used to take pretzel rods.
Yeah.
This used to drive my family crazy. And I just dip it in there and be like, nah, 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 nah.
So I'm never actually going to know what Jimmy Buffett was talking about in that song.
What did he say?
Cheeseburger in paradise. I don't know if that's, wait, is that it? Heinz 57 and French fried potatoes.
Is that what he says?
So I might be getting 2 songs confused, but
No, I know what
I
you mean.
like mine with lettuce and tomato. Heinz 57 and French fried potatoes.
Fucking A. It definitely
You don't know that
rhymed.
line?
Heinz 57, sha pa 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 pa, sha. You know what I mean?
You got, I don't know.
Open
You got to
pit,
listen to
blah
that.
blah
at some point.
blah.
That's
Worcestershire.
what I think of every time.
No, I know. No, but Worcestershire's good stuff. Oh, then there's Lee and Perrins. I switched to Lee and Perrins 30 years ago.
Lee and Parents.
Where it comes in, it's in a bottle and it's wrapped in paper, and you're like, get the paper off. It's no, maybe they don't do that anymore. Anyway,
Never heard of it.
Lee and Perrins, and then for a little while they had one for chicken and pork. Sold for a few years. It was interesting,
Yeah.
different, you know. And but anyway, so yeah, Lee and Perrins. But you know what's great also too? It's just regular soy sauce on plain old white rice. My wife and I talk about that all the time.
Nice.
And then A1, here's the secret. A1 sauce on eggs and potatoes at breakfast.
I could do that. especially with potatoes.
Oh, A1 is it's magical. And sometimes what people do, well, I think they should, because I don't. I just take A1 and I dump it all over my. Can't get near the pancakes or the bacon. But once the bacon and the pancakes are gone, you have just the eggs and potatoes. It's like
Pancakes? No.
yeah, you don't want a A1y pancake.
Oh, okay. Yeah, I was gonna say.
Yeah, no. You know what I'm saying? So you don't want the pancakes or the bacon near it. You just want A1 on eggs and potatoes. If it's not eggs and potatoes, yeah. No. But all right. So listen. So what should we do? What hi-hats do you got on there? Do you have the Peisty 505 14-inch?
Yeah, on the bottom, and then the Zildjian. What is it? 60 or 70, whatever it is.
Oh yeah, you got that on top. We have the same thing going on. The B20
yeah, except
over
you got the 602 on yours, right?
Yeah, I got the 602. Yeah, but I mean, I'll tell you, man. I mean, it sounds nice, but give me a good 14-inch top Zildjian. They're fantastic too. Anyway, but yeah, let's hear yours. Go like this. Mine's ta-tat. How's yours go? Ah! I'm sorry. Yeah. Yeah. Okay, yours is. Which one do you have on there? The 9 or the 8-ish or 7? How heavy are those frickers?
Oh yeah, I don't know. I still haven't gotten the weight on anything.
Brother, disaster strikes.
Is your clutch mechanism failure?
No, there's a crack in my top 602.
Oh no. Where
Yes.
at? How big?
Right here, half an inch going straight in. So I'd probably have to. It would definitely have to be clipped out because you'd have to drill this thing possibly almost 3/4 of an inch.
Now, did you how? When did that happen? Do you have any idea if that could have possibly been there for a while?
Well, you know, I here's the thing. When we last rehearsed, we were playing, and I saw what I thought was a little teeny crack. But sometimes just with the lights, it's not. And I'm like, it's all right. So I finished the rehearsal. There it is. Let me see.
Well, with the 602
though. No, but that's a very 60s 602 thing to happen.
Really?
Yeah, the crack is almost more like a. Yeah, it happens. You know, you really can't. They're slightly more fragile cymbals. They weren't really designed to be smashed. But I didn't, but I seldom would. Well, I guess I smash a little. But this is only, I think, the third time in my life I've ever cracked a cymbal, and each time it's been a hi-hat top. Maybe the second. Wow. Yeah, I cracked a Peisty 2000 Sound Reflections. Maybe that's it. You know what I mean? No, it wasn't a Sound Reflections. It was a regular. It was a 14-inch 2000. Anyway, so what I will do now is I'm going to try to find myself shite. Maybe an 800.
Try to fix that or no?
Well, yeah, I could. I guess, I could just. Didn't you carve something out?
Yeah, I just took a little grinder with a cutting blade. So you got your grinders with a cutting and a grinding blade.
Yeah.
But that cutter will just zip right through that metal. So you could cut this whole cymbal in half in a minute.
No.
But what you could do is just barely nick that away and then take a file and a little bit of sandpaper to it. I don't even hardly see the crack.
No, I know, because it's not. Sometimes you have to.
If it's not that big, you might just be able to take a hand file, and just go up and down until it's gone.
You don't really see it from the bottom. That's the bottom. Yeah, but you see it from the top, though.
You just don't want it to get bigger, is all.
You see it right at the end.
Yeah, I see where it starts, I think. It's pretty hard to see. It must not be crazy.
Between my fingers. Oh, fuck. Well, it's there.
It's weird. I'm surprised I don't really see it.
Well, it's just the camera play.
No.
Well, anyway.
That's a bummer, though.
Yeah, it is. But we're going to play it. We're going to respect it, love it, and no, we shouldn't. We shouldn't play it until I cut that chunk. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
No, but I don't
unless you throw it, make sure it's on the opposite side.
Oh yeah, well no, here, but we don't need to be. I don't mean to be a doubter.
Let's switch it up.
We're gonna
Let's switch it up.
This is what we're gonna do. Because I was gonna do this today. Gonna take this. This is the 505 medium bottom bit, and then we go like this. There it goes.
It's got to be the medium.
Yeah, it has to be. Don't forget. Okay, so then we have a Sound Edge 2002 bottom that I actually drilled the crack many years ago, and the crack never grew. And then I also, believe it or not, myself installed rivets. I figured since it was cracked, I thought the crack might spread. It never did. I took a chance on putting rivets because Mick Fleetwood did that. A few drummers did. I used
to just give it a little more sizzle, kind of like having a tambourine on top. And that
well,
realm.
yeah. Well, yeah, just kind. Well, it's yeah. It gives.
I'm sure
a
they're
little more,
different, but kind of just like for fun.
Yeah, you just get a little more. Like you can almost hear it in. Da 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 da, shafada, wrapped around your feet. You know what I mean? Oh my God! Look what I got, brother. Wait, do you see what is on top?
We got a Paiste. It's blue lettering. It's hard for me to read right now.
Oh, there you
Sound
go.
reflections.
Yes.
15 crash.
This is a 15-inch crash sound reflections. So
is that going over a 14-inch cymbal on the bottom?
No, I'm putting on the bottom, but this 15-inch sound edge I just had.
Okay.
But so check this out. So this is the 15-inch sound reflections. So this is the same body model and lathing. Apart from the brilliant finish, like if you de-brillianted it, it'd essentially be a 15-inch original spec giant beat top. So I'm going to mix this. Let's hear how it sounds. Ready?
Yeah.
It might be pretty bright though, because with the. But let's see.
Okay.
I would like to try this one. Here, let me see what we got. Ready? Hang on. Let me know if. Remember, we're going from 14 to 15. Okay. You know what I mean? So. You know what I mean? What do you think?
I like them. They're definitely a little bit brighter, and they sound beefier, which is exactly what you'd expect.
You know what I got to do? We can't hit our microphones.
Right.
I just did it sound? Was it loud? Did it go? Boop?
I didn't even notice it.
Oh, good. Okay, thank God. You can hear me though, right through here though, right?
Yeah. What about do a little bit of Bonham engine so I can hear just the chicks.
Okay, here, yeah, the chicks. All right, so. Like you know what you could use these for? There was a I saw one time many years ago a reggae band. I mean, they were a reggae band, but what I mean is I don't know. I mean, it wasn't like at a reggae bar. It was at a club, and there were some dudes up there playing reggae. It was fantastic. But Dudesicle had a pair of 15-inch Paiste 1000 Rudes. So they actually made, originally came out the Paiste Rude, the original Rude, had the word Paiste on the bottom, and if you flipped it over, it said Rude.
Yeah.
Didn't say Paiste or anything else, just said Rude, and then over here it would say 20-inch ride crash or 18-inch crash ride or whatever. You know what I mean? They didn't have a thin crash or any of this stuff. They were just straight up those mothers. But they also did that when they switched, when they got rid of the 2002 briefly, which they actually did. They made two models of Rude. When they went the 1000, 2000, 3000. The 3000 had a Rude. The 2000 did not. 2000 had just the sound reflections and the regular. And then the 1000 had regular 1000 and then 1000 Rude. So they were cheaper than the 3000 Rude, but they looked pretty much the same. Just the writing was green. Maybe they thought they were 3000 Rude duds and they sold them, you know. But anyway, this dude had a 15-inch pair. And they sounded fantastic. It was really like, but they were heavy as shit. Like these are all right. These are more boxy because they're thinner.
That would, yeah. I think that does lend itself to reggae for whatever reason. Just the way you're playing that just fit.
Like yeah, like here we go. Here's some reggae. hell is that noise? What's happening? Oh my God! Let me get this frickin' cymbal out of the way. Ready? Ready? Something's making a noise. Hang on. Do you hear that? There's something rattling over here. All right, never mind. Here we go.
Do you have you got a snare drum behind you? Is it the wires?
Well, no, well, yeah, but it was something that moved.
Okay.
Remember the
I'm
thing
not
that
sure.
fell last week? Did it
Still
move
there.
a little more? I thought I heard something go. You know what I mean? Just want to make sure there's not a little straw that comes out over there and just goes. All right, ready? Here we go. Whoa, sing along to this. It's Jamaica rap. Sing along. You don't have to do. You don't have to do. Anyway, so back to covers. Remember how we were saying it was neat that covers, you sit and you play covers, because it's like it's not working. I mean, it's not work. It's like you're like, yeah, no, and then we go to that part. Yeah, ooh, I hit that a little better today. Oh, I hit that. My left hand didn't flam. You know what I mean?
Yeah, you just got to find songs that really pique your interest, that kind of drag you into them, but are also somewhat manageable for you to play. Like that you can play the main beat and maybe there's some challenges. That's a pretty good situation.
Yeah, yeah. Well, yes. Well, yeah, but see that's almost something too. Like eventually, like you get. I mean, there are some things you practice. Like I still don't like my Fool in the Rain, even though I've sat here and I played it, where I've adjusted it a little. You know, because hang on. Yeah. No, when I say don't like, I'm saying, don't get me wrong. I play with the band and stuff, but what I'm saying is there's just a mojo about the original, but there's something. Yeah. You know what I mean? I have misalignment sometimes. But what I'm saying is but see instead, but what I would like to do, and I've actually done this, like I'll sit and I'll sing it. So instead of playing along the cover to Fool in the Rain, because what happens is it's kind of cool. Then you get tempted to make sure you get all the fills instead of concentrating on the time. And then suddenly there's dun, 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 and then you get to the end, and then you want to get the two fills. So you almost want to make a character. You know what I mean? Like, but even change so instead of la 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 la, you can change it to like la do ba da da do bo ba whoa oh whoa oh oh and just go over and over again. But see, then you don't, like here I'm assing around. I'm sorry. What I would normally do, though, is if you were doing it, spend some time. God, my allergies are killing me, man, with this. Were you getting allergies down there?
I don't think I'm as susceptible to them.
It's Drysville up here.
There's a couple people who were talking about being sick when I was out and about, but just allergies. I felt weird for like one day, and I was good.
Well, I know we are in the season, though, where it's going to be, you're going to touch that handle or whatever, and you rub your eye and then be like, whoa, for 3 weeks. All right, but here we go. So think about that. That's I want a gizmo that I can set right here and just go. Whoa, 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 and then on and on. You know what I mean?
Just loop it.
Yeah, but you could probably even hook it up to you. I'm sure you can get a smart AI thing probably now. If anybody hasn't thought about it, that would keep it. That would be almost like a. Man, see, one of the things I don't like about a click track, for me, in the old days way of thinking, where in the old days, like what I would do is all right, I'm going to play the song and just hear in my head, duk, 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 and just, go to that. So you can kind of move it. If you're playing by yourself, you can if you get a little off, you know what I mean? But there's a weird step on a crack, break your mama's back kind of thing. Where like there does come a time, whether it's a mistake or I just feel like at that point putting a little more energy into it, suddenly I know I can sit there and I can slowly get back to the click. But in that period of time that I kind of do that, I can almost hear it when I'm listening to the playback. It drives me nuts. So you could have a click track now that's kind of smart. So it can tell. Like the Russian Dragon. There used to be a thing called the Russian Dragon. To tell you, turn a little green if you were speeding up or a little red if you're slowing. Just to give you a kind of maybe, you could probably select the parameters. So instead of being 66 beats per minute, you can maybe make a sort of a standard deviation for the machine. It's like, hey, you know what the fuck? You're speeding up. You know what I mean? Anyway, so back to
like more or less sensitive on the.
Well, yeah. So it would because sometimes
you have like more margin to basically be free with it.
Well, because
or tighten it up.
Okay, yeah, exactly. So here's the thing. This is what I mean about perfect time and human time. I never ever, when I say human time, I think to be an excuse for shit time. I mean, great time. I mean, that's the whole thing. But it's like there's great musical time and then there's metronomic time. They're not the same thing.
Sure.
You know what I mean? It's almost like I feel like in a certain sense. God, man, I think I have to blow my schnoz. There ain't booger showing.
I don't know. You have to figure that one out.
Okay, so. Here we go. Look, it's the guy from.
That's all you.
All right, no. So here's the kick. Yeah. So it would kind of detect, especially if let's say you're coming into a film song, like. You might sometimes, if you come around, you might just be a little ahead of the click. Now, of course, here's the gig. You can also, a professional, what they do is they're like, all right, and especially if you're, sometimes it is easier. I've actually found it. I always thought it'd be harder. If you have a bass player and or a guitar player too, who can play really well to a click, it's easier to play to the click. Because everyone, if they're kind of a good musician, will kind of speed up and maybe slow down. So you almost, you kind of round the curves a little instead of going, you know what I mean? Like you can kind of like you're kind of, you know what I mean? It's kind of like that,
everybody's kind of on a leash, maybe.
Well, that's what happens with the click, but there's a way to do it where you don't feel like you're on a leash.
That's what I mean.
Right. It's like that magical thing where the rope is neither taut pulling you back nor is it slack. There's just that kind of little perfect sort of thing you get where it might even just be a teensy
on a bungee cord.
Yeah, but even a slight, it doesn't have to be perfectly straight. Even just a slight bit of a sag, but it stays there for 2 minutes while you do a song. Like you'll hear songs like, like the song "Wonderful Tonight" by Eric Clapton. You're lying. You don't know that.
I do.
Okay.
Wonderful tonight.
All right, now yes. Okay, so here's the thing. If you ever listen to that, though, they have a really, really great pocket there. If you ever really listen to that song. Oh. Wait, I think he stops later. Shite. But anyway, that you just don't realize how much I love. But like the time there is just, it's perfect. It's fantastic. But that's what I mean sometimes about time. But what I'm saying is, hang on, let's go back to Fool in the Rain though. So it's what I mean is to practice over and over again. It is kind of cool playing it with the chords that are da 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 da. All right, yeah. You know what we could do? Why don't we still use that instead of da da ba ba da ba? Well, you know what it is? Getting away from the Fool in the Rain happiness and faster tempo, relatively speaking, to a slower, more minory. Ba ba da 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 da. So just you don't use your bass drum. Just use your hands for now. That's what's going on. And then you bring in the ghost notes. You know what ends up happening with the Fool in the Rain? There's a way for you to practice it. For one, to practice it hitting the snare harder, but really memorizing where those notes are, not necessarily learning where those notes are with all the grace note you eventually kind of need. You need it to be lighter, but it's okay to kind of go like this.
Oh, yeah.
You know, just so you get used to exactly where these notes are. You know, and then once you get that nailed down, it can be more. You know what I mean?
Yeah. It kind of, I don't know why, it reminds me of like the herta in Stairway to Heaven. I don't know if those are supposed to be ghost notes, but it sounds the same on every snare tap.
Yeah, well, exactly. And I mean, it's like, well, it's like this. So, because what if they were there every time? It'd be like this. See this? It's very awkward. I'm sorry, but this is what you'd hear if those ghost notes were every time. You know what I mean? Except it's just he's just choosing the two. But I know what you're saying though. See, you're thinking about it, and I do too. Yeah. It's like a police thing where Copeland goes. Where it's a like the herta. Except that what you're doing,
you always go Christmas with it.
Well, yeah, but see, that's the thing. That's a great way to think about the herta. I know technically hertas supposedly go ba 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 like that order, but I like ba 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 ba. You know what I mean? It's inverted, maybe. I don't know.
Can I play it real quick?
Fuck yeah! Take your time. 2 minutes.
Just let me know. Make sure I actually do the herta correct. But it's a Stairway to Heaven. I don't even know if I'm playing it right.
No, you've gone past it already. You gotta go. Oh, you want to go the bullet that one? Wait, that's the you're talking about this one. Oh, you gotta go to in your mind. If you ever want to do this, always just think of a part of the solo. You don't necessarily have to start it. Sometimes what you can do. Start here where it goes because that leads you into the yeah, right? Yeah, let's do it.
Yeah, but instead of those fills that you're doing, that's where they do the herta, I'm pretty sure.
Yeah, right. I mean,
yeah,
that's what you're talking about, right? Is that what you're talking about? You're talking about
no, not that. I'm saying afterwards. Like so.
Keep going.
I don't know if it's before or after that whole thing. It's
okay. Oh yeah, yes. Oh yeah. Yeah, you want to practice that? Yeah, but then here's the loop. You can play this beat right under manic depression. Hang on a second. Hang on. Shit, I can't. I'm thinking of manic depression. It just took my whole brain thing and went. Hang on. Too. Like you can do, that's a good exercise. Why don't we build one right now? A thing for you and even me to practice, because I got to keep my right foot in shape. So you can go like this. So like 1 and 2, 1E, and think of it like it's a 1E and a 2E, as if there's a shaker. You know what I mean? Shake it like that. Shucka, shukka, 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 shukka. See, it's hard to even go shukka, shukka when you shukka, 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 shukka. Oh, wow. That's even a mental exercise. All right, so oh, that's a good one to do. So what you do is essentially, the turnaround. If you do it, if you start looping it, you get this. So let's read it. Let's say it's the Zeppelin, the Bonzo's Montreux. You ever hear that? So I'm going to do a little. It's a little bit of a little, but here like this. Boom. That's just what I'm playing here for this example. I think it's 93% Bonham's Montreux. One more time. Now watch it. You want to give that a whirl? Go slow. No, wait. I'm not trying to put you on the spot. I'm serious. Just give it a whirl for a sec, okay?
Let's see if I can wrap my head.
But remember, take your time, okay?
Bonzos.
Just start with. Don't even think of the herta, or if you want, just think about the do dot do dot do. If you want to do those for a while,
I'm going to show you how to do it. Bass it. Hold on.
Check this out. No, but first off, no, but here's the thing. Yeah. You're also in a state here, if you're learning anything. Let's say I came with 3 balls, and I showed you the trick. You know what I mean? You kind of went to do it. I mean, you're at that point. There's going to come a time when you sit and just think about it, where suddenly you're like, oh, I got it. All right, well, wait a minute. And here, the next thing that we'll stumble upon is this is what we do. We just take the bass drum out.
All right.
Okay? And we go like this. So just think 1 and a 2 and a 3 and a 4 and a. The shaker, shaka, shaka, shaka. You go like this, shaka, shaka, 1 and a 2 and a 3 and then what you're gonna do is after you do a couple of these, you get comfortable. You're gonna go.
Okay.
However people do it. You know what I mean? Yeah. So that's but it's a simple thing. What happens is you have to disassociate your mind for a minute from Zeppelin and Bonham and the whole behemoth, which is that. You just want to literally think to yourself what I just played.
Yeah.
So that's just a way to get in. And you might sit and do it right off the bat. I don't mean to patronize you. But you're going to go, you can, if you started right into it, you start with your 1 here. You go 1E, and so 1E and 2. Yeah, so 1E and 2. 1E and 2. Give that a whirl. No, go real. Yeah, no, okay. Good. That was good. No, do what you did. Just do that for a while. Just do it. You are the guru. No, listen. Now, there's a couple things I want you to learn from what we did. See how, apart from the last 38 seconds or whatever, you sat there like a clock. Dot, dot, dot. The value in sitting, doing it just at that tempo for as long as you can, for a few minutes. What you're doing is you're allowing your hands also, too, to get comfortable with each other. Because sometimes earlier in playing, that wouldn't be allowed. Like, that's really awkward. Wait, what's happening? My left hand is hitting in a weird spot. But you just get used to it. And there's another thing when you watch the playback I want you to see, that when you're playing, your hand, you're doing kind of a molary type thing. You're going, bop, 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 bop. And that's cool as hell. So that exercise we just did, keep practicing that. Because all you're going to do now, here's the thing. Now, let's sit and look at that. Let's just imagine what we just talked about is a thing right there. It's a machine we just talked about. We built. What do? We just play with our hands, that herta type thing. We just did it. We just did it. We just did it. We just did it.
My space heater kicked in.
Oh, no, hell yeah. Oh, I got to tell you a story later. I got to tell you a story. Anyway, but real fast. So all you're going to do then is you're adding 3 bass drum notes.
Okay.
Now, don't even think about playing it right now for a second. Now, just check this out. So here you are going. Here I am. Okay, I'm Kev. Just like this. Don't even think Zeppelin or anything. However the hell you want to think about it. But you won't even think about it at all. Just after a while, your hands just do it. Like you're going like this. But you get the idea. No, that's cool though. What you're doing, it's cool. Cool. But all right, but so then what we're gonna do is we're gonna add just that. And then you can also go doubles the whole time. There's a good exercise too. You're like swinging your foot. Except it's easier to don't think about it. Like I didn't mean to say that word. Don't think about like a country song swinging or whatever. But just to go like, all right, so if we separate the hands, first thing, okay? Don't even think, when I was just sitting there going like this, I'm just demonstrating what your foot does. Otherwise it would go. Because it's literally, so if let me think about this for a minute. If I just did my right hand and my right foot at the same time. I mean, this is like just looping the bottom turnaround. And I call it the bottom turnaround. It's not really a turnaround, although sometimes he'd use it to turn stuff around, like 1, he had a 2, he had a 3, he had a 4, he had a 1, he had a 2, he had a 3, he had a 4, like that kind of thing. You know what I mean? But essentially it's just, and then you just loop that. You know what I mean? In that process, there's one time where the hand's sitting by itself and one time where the foot's sitting by itself. You don't have to go after it that way, but that's what ends up happening. You can sing it. Here you are doing it. Just sit for a minute and do it. Don't have to rush into it.
Yeah, I think I got it mapped out.
Yeah, you know what I mean? Because in your head, once you start going like this, try to just tag along a rock line or something in your head going, wah-da-doo-da-doo, wah-da-doo-da-doo. And next thing you know, you're going to like, oh, I know where those effing bass drums go. But if you mess it up or whatever, just start playing your hands again. Try dropping the feet in again. You know, the key is just to keep going.
Okay.
Want to give it a whirl?
Yeah, bear with me while I figure it out. I think I got it mapped out in my
Take
head.
your time. No, you got to. You have to figure it out. No, hang on. What I want you to do is get it going slow and try to stay.
Yeah.
But no, just for now. Let's bang it out.
For sure. I agree. Yeah, that is correct, I think. Hold on.
Oh, that's it. And you're gonna go
So
about
it does
this.
start off that way too.
Yeah. See, well, you can start off anyway. You can start off if you want, like, or just. But what I normally do is like 1, 2, 3, 1 and 1 and the 3 and the 3 and the 4 and the 1 and the 3 and the 3 and the 4 and the 1 and the 2 and the 3 and the 1 and the. That's what you're actually doing.
Yeah, but I can start with bass drum like.
No. Believe it or not, when it starts, there's no bass drum.
Okay, that's all I needed to know.
You got it. You got
Stay
it.
away from that.
Yeah, that's the hi-hat by itself.
That's the other variation.
No, then what you do is you just start it over.
Yeah, you could do both ways, I guess. Like, or, you know what I mean?
Yes.
Okay, but anyways.
Just like that.
Definitely feels like you're more on a run, like.
No, well, totally. But again, you know what you want to do? Get your breath and just start it over slow again, and try to do it for like 2 or 3 minutes. If you make a mistake, just start it over again. Because we want to just tattoo this in your brain railroad tracks going through. Like, wait, what's happening there? This is okay to feel this. This isn't bizarre. All right, hit it,
The
Al.
whole town we're exploring here on the.
Yes, in your cranium.
That's the hardest part right there.
Yeah, because it's on you. You don't ever do that.
Yeah. Whoa, drop the stick.
No, what I'm gonna do is stop for a sec. Stop for a sec. Hang on. Give me 1 second. Right now, what's happening? It's a reverse buffering. There's a part of your brain that's sort of processing the last few minutes and kind of going. So don't do any attempts right now. Get your breath. That was fantastic. So what happens is, but see, one thing about that exercise too is, to me, it's like the perfect emulsifier that clearly demonstrates. Lots of musicians do it, but Bonham did it a lot. Is sort of kind of going back and forth between triplets and sixteenths.
The feel of it, actually, the whole time?
Well, kind of in it. Well, yeah. Well, I mean, in a sense, just the nature of it.
Like, I mean, are you saying sometimes he's very straight feel and then kind of swinging?
Well, no.
Okay.
I don't. I'm sorry. I don't mean on those vectors at all.
Okay.
Never mind. Let me just do this for a minute. Okay, so, you know, it's funny because when you do something like you go back and analyze it, you realize it doesn't seem like it, but your left hand is just going. You know what I mean? That's kind of cool. You just got to get used to. You know what I mean? So do. And then remember, you can also do like you did that before. Go. And that kind of makes it, you almost like you said, want to swing it a little, like you not, you know what I mean, kind of get a little bit of the end of Black Dog. You know what I mean? Like you even see Bonham kind of doing it. He's on stage, it's kind of like, you know what I mean? Anyway, but here it's just straight 16th. Da 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 da. There's no ba 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 in this. What we're doing at this moment. Whether it's 1 2 3 1 2 3 1 2 3 1 2 3 1 2 3 1 2 3 or 1 2 3 4 1 2 3 4 1 2 3 4 1 2 3, but like taking the groupings that way and then they align up again after, you know, like a common denominator, at least common multiple thing.
Yeah. Can we graze over Black Dog real quick?
Oh, hell yeah. Okay.
So just that basic little paradigm.
Okay. So Bonham puts this this exercise we're doing. He makes great use of it. I wish I could say I've heard a lot more live Zeppelin than I have. I haven't. You know what I mean?
Oh.
I hate to say it, but there's a lot of time I'd hear stuff from 75ers or 77 where it just sounded kind of sloppy. Don't get me wrong. There's always golden moments in there and stuff. I don't know. I just stick with my BBC sessions. My frickin' Song remains the same. My frickin', you know, all the albums and stuff. You know, some of the stuff, you know, there's some bootlegs out there that are great. They're just out of hand. I mean, it's just out of hand, man. Some of that stuff, like George had something in the car, like Osaka, 1971 or 2. I mean, they're just out of hand. Like to just have watched that and play, because it's you know what it is? What it is with Zeppelin, where Bonham was, well, like the timekeeper, right? But he was almost like the conductor, kind of, in a certain sense. Well, I mean, well, what I'm saying is almost like a conductor can deliver something a little more austere or a little more like this.
Yeah.
Well, you know what I mean? So imagine a conductor being like, you know, hey, everybody, you know, I got some tea for you over there. There's some edibles there. Be careful. They're 5%. So what you're going to do is you're going to go like this. Ba-da-da-da. You know what I mean? But then someone else comes on and goes, you know, he's really. And then you can fool around with that on the ending too. That's something you can kind of do. It's kind of a cheat. But then there's also a couple times he does this, at least. There's 1 or 2 of those. But then there's also, so he kind of covers all the bases. You know, you really hear that. Like you hear him, you hear that total. Like if you listen, you'll hear the assortment in the studio version. Like you really throw, as it goes on, as the fade out kind of goes, you almost have the, there's even almost like a, I know like live he did that up the wazoo. He'd be like, he'd just go berserker, you know? And, but yeah, that's what it is. That's a good thing to just think of. Like just loop that. Real easy now. Just loop that. You don't even worry about the ba ba. Just keep doing it. Let me hear you. If you want.
Like a quick triplet. Like, because I don't know if that's right. I don't know. Hold on a second. Dude.
So the first, now in this case, what we're doing before, it's different. Remember before you were hitting the hi-hat first for the other thing. In this case, just for this exercise, you're hitting with the left hand first, followed by the close hi-hat, and then 2 bass drum notes.
It's triplet with a little space in between.
Yeah, well, just think of it like this. Just no. Think about it like this. Ba-tip-boom. Ba-tip-boom-boom. Totally equal apart. Ba-tip-boom.
Okay, all 4 notes.
Yeah, ba-tip-do, right in a row. Da-da-da-da. Because now what I want you to do is after those 4, use your right hand, hit the bass drum again, and hit the crash, and see the effect you'll get. So you're gonna hit 3. No. Here, let me do it. Let me do this. Check this out. Because what happens is when you first talk about, if I'm talking about this something which is a triplet, but in our brain by default we think of 4 or 16 or whatever. You're thinking almost like 1 eanda. Like wait a minute. Yeah, right. No, but that's normal. What we're doing here. Check this out.
It's not that.
We're gonna go. It's Abby. Someone. You're gonna go. Now check this out. What I'm gonna check that. Listen to how this sounds. Okay. No, let me hit the floor time. Let me just hit the floor time. Because it is hard to get, you know. Well, wait. Here, it'd be like if you went like this. Okay, so instead of going, we're going like this. So if I play it slower, we can get 3 notes. See how that is? But if you speed that up, you go like this. Well, there's the 3. But if you just do 2. Yeah, so I'm sorry, I'm such a skull. Hit your left hand after the 2 bass drums. Sorry. Give me a whirl.
Okay.
Left, right foot, left. Left, right foot, left. Yes.
And then is it bass after that? I know.
Yes, but it's not fast, right. But no, it's right after that. Except not immediately following. It goes.
Yeah.
And that's where you have in your head. So if you want to think about this, a good way to think about this melodically is ba-da, ba-da. That's what you're doing. And ba, the first one is your left hand. Ba-da, ba-whoa.
Yeah.
Ba-da, boo-boo, ba, ba. Okay? Give it a whirl. Take your time. Do it many in a row at a slow tempo.
I don't know if it matters if you do that.
Now what you're going to do, though... Yes.
Now, does it matter if I hit, like, the hi-hat too on this note?
Yeah. Your hand's just going to go straight across.
Okay.
No, but here's
tighter.
Here's the thing that's going to happen. We're going to bridge that right now. You're going to add just one more right hand to bridge it. Okay? Okay, so. Okay?
Oh.
You know what I mean? So.
Gotcha.
Okay, give it a whirl. Take your time. Yes.
In a little space.
Yeah, you're right there. Take your time.
That's just going to be the be the hard part.
Yes,
I'll just iron all that out.
No, but I want you to right now is just slow it down. Okay. Give it a whirl again. And remember, ta-ti-boo-boo-ba, boom. Tit, pa-ti-tu-tu. We're talking tit. Tit, ta-ti-tu-tu-ba, boom. Tit, ta-ti-boo-boo-ba, boom. Tit. Now give it a whirl. Yes. So what I want you to do, let's just sit with that one for today. Because the other ones are just there's just the notes go in a different place. But when ends up happening, your body doesn't think about, oh, those notes go there. It's like, oh, my foot now behaves this way on the pedal to change those notes to that. Ba-doom,
Yeah.
boom, boom, instead of you know what I mean? So yeah, but that's all it is. So you have the. Now what I was doing here is I'm starting with this. So 1 and 2 and 1. Like if you did it the main way on the one that's just like you'll hear a couple times in the studio recording too, where it does sound a little like before he kind of starts going. There's a little part like they're not really hiccups as such, but, at anybody's part, but you can hear there's 1 or 2 ba-da-ba-ba that are a little slidey that are really this like that almost. You know, you'll hear it in the recording, but he kind of just dances around, sort of like da 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 ba 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 ba. Like that's almost what you hear sometimes on the guitar. There's da 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 da, but there's almost a time or two you hear da 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 da. Da 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 da, like it's almost smeared a little. Da da da, not necessarily on the drums, I don't think, but pages a couple times in there. But it's just a great practice. So remember, so you have that. So as the chop, not in the context of the music, but as the kata in drumming. So that's before we had. And then. And then you start going. And you were doing it. You were doing it for many minutes. Sorry. And just get lost in it. Because it's different than the. You know what I mean? It's a different animal. So just think about it the way we were just talking about it. You know what I'm saying, Pep?
And it's cool to hear the same thing minus 1 bass drum note like you were playing just a second ago.
Well, yeah. Remember, that's just an exercise. You know what I mean? It's a great exercise.
2 versions.
Well, yeah. Well, this is just a. Well, that's the full blast. With the other ones, this one's good. It's a lot easier on your foot. And like you said, you can kind of like you can almost go. See, that's what you're dying to do. You like to swing this. You can do both, but what I'm saying is, in the proper Black Dog, it's a little more like. You know what I mean? But that's bottom, like at the frickin' height of his powers, I think. I mean, that was recorded. Black Dog, I think, was recorded in 70.
Right.
1970. So if you hear those bootleg 69, 70, I mean, then 71, 70, but that 69, 70, 71 stuff is just, like, I can't get over the BBC sessions. Have you heard that? Like, Since I've Been Loving You off the BBC?
Yeah. Now, what like, is that live? Is it?
Yeah, well, I guess.
No, it's sessions in the studio at somewhere in. I don't know if it was like for entertainment purposes going out on the television.
Well, it was the radio, and God, wouldn't it have been great if they had the television aspect to it at the time?
Oh yeah.
Yeah, well, they just go to. It was a big thing, like in Britain. Go to the BBC studios, and you go in, you set up, and they have great equipment and stuff. And you essentially what you're going to do is you're going to play live, but like it looks like it was totally mic'd up on stage, like a studio, but there's an audience watching you.
Okay.
You know what I mean?
That's what they did there at the BBC sessions. They had like live studio audience just to go out on the radio. So it's like in between studio and live.
Yeah.
Somewhat.
Yeah, well, right. But they were, everything you heard, I don't think they did any overdubs, but redo, but it's essentially just like a live studio. It's almost like if you go, in a sense, if you went to a classical concert and they were just going to record it from beginning, like that.
Yeah.
But everything mic'd up really well. Yeah, it was a common thing, I think, kind of to do in England back then. You'll see that with the Who too. You know what I mean? And sometimes you'd see stuff, well, I mean, not with Zeppelin, but with The Who, or some stuff that where they're miming, but they're not entirely miming. Like if you see the only time I think you ever see Zeppelin miming is that Japanese promo film. Or I don't even know if it was filmed in Japan, but I think the clip is popular. Where Bonham's on his double bass set and he's ba 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 da 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 ba ba communication breakdown. But where they're clearly miming, you know, Bonham's like, and but you also see though too, like you'll see like The Who on there were some bands too where they'd come and the drums would be pre-recorded and the bass might be pre-recorded, but Townsend's really playing his guitar and Daltrey's really singing, like kind of half, you know what I mean?
Yeah.
Like you see Jim Morrison doing "Touch Me" on Ed Sullivan. It's only everything else is the backing tracks of the original record, but that they take his vocal out and he sings along to it, you know. Anyway, you know what I mean. So, but yeah, so that's the gig. So don't even think about this one for now. There's no really value to that. I mean, there is, but it's more like a calorie burning exercise. But this is your golden one. Which is right out of ba da 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 ba da 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 ba da da da. The Wanton song.
Oh, okay.
Yeah, I mean this all ties together, man. It's like a mystical woven bush in Wales. Like, yeah. You know what I mean?
Right. True. The Wanton song is like one of those songs I pushed aside just like Black Dog. So that's kind of interesting. You're actually hitting those less hit gems.
But it really shows in a certain way, sort of like these bottom paradigms. You know what I mean?
I agree.
That he just kind of did, you know what I mean? There were certain sort of things he sort of, in his arsenal and just ways of grooving. Like you could just do like a string of bottom turnarounds. Like ass around with that if you wanted.
Yeah.
You know.
Do you guys in the Deaf Right Ear play many Zeppelin songs?
You know, we do play off Physical Graffiti. We play Night Flight.
Night Flight.
Oh wait, not Night Flight. No. I'm sorry. No. We play
In the Light? I don't know what sounds close. The Room, or that's what.
Right, you're doing it. You know what I mean? Yes. It's a
that's
great
what I've
jam.
been. That's the main song that I've switched to the last couple of nights. It's really
good. No, that's great.
Really fun.
I mean, but don't get too hung up on. I mean, you can sit and get the part where you want to get the whole like first.
Yeah,
where you get the.
I just pick up what I can pick up, and besides that, I'm just like, yeah.
Yeah, well, yeah, but there's also, you know what else is in that too? You're not going to believe it. There's one of these in there. Bonham does the exact same thing in the Wanton song.
Okay.
Oh wait, no, it's this one.
Yeah. Night Flight.
Yeah, Night Flight. He does
For
that.
sure, it's
I think it happens twice in there, but it's
come
just
on.
Yes.
And meet me in the morning.
Jump at the fire and the chip and down. Yeah, his drums sound ass kicking there. Be alright.